When you come to Skyz and ask for Chef David, they know he's a steak master. I believe I am not cooking for myself. So it took me like 3 months to come up with 30 dishes. Everything must be accounted for. In the kitchen, how you manage pressure matters most. When you talk about the Luombo, Ugandan Luombo stands, because kitchen is about attention to details. I was not a chef. I was working with a petroleum company. Working in a kitchen is not easy. The pressure in the kitchen keeps increasing as the demand of food comes in. Cooking is an art. And you are cooking for different people. But it was from the bush to the kitchen. And that is my signature dish, steak. I am with a team that I need to be with them. I need to teach them. I need to learn from them. They need to learn from me. I believe in nurturing my family first. When my family gets to know what I'm doing, then my home guests will be more happier. Each step in cooking matters. Each time you are spending with the ingredients, how much you're putting, how you're testing the salt, how you're seasoning, matters a lot. Hi everyone, my name is David EIBU, shoe chef at Skyz Hotel. It is 7 years since I joined. It's really high time and a precious time that I speak about myself. I really love working here. Earlier on, before I became a chef, I was working with a petroleum company. That is the one which is the one now you hear, petroleum in Uganda. We were the first team that exploited that. We went for the survey of that oil. After the survey of that oil, we were put in the camp. So we had to stay in the camp for like 1 year. And then I was doing a different job from the kitchen job. And then from there, I picked up the interest. There's one chef called Chef Patrick. He inspired me a lot. I like the way how he used to do his salads. I like the way how he used to cook the breakfast. Very early in the morning, by 5, breakfast was ready. Breakfast was packed. And we could go in the bush, in the park, to survey the oil. So Chef Patrick inspired me to become a chef. And then when I worked there for 3 years, I decided to go and study the culinary art. That's when now I became a chef. But it was from the bush to the kitchen, you see? That is how my life changed. And that is my journey. I wasn't a chef, but I think I love what I'm doing right now. I love it. I enjoy being a chef because I interact with so many people. I interact with a lot of people worldwide, almost all the cultures. Any culture you come in, I'm there. I once worked with an Indian kitchen. It is still in existence. Maybe for the purposes of this interview, let me not mention it out. I worked in an Indian kitchen whereby it was really rough. Everything must be accounted for. No playing in the kitchen. The head chef was so rough. Not rough in terms of maybe the attitude was not good. He was very tough. He was a tough chef. If I may compare him to Chef Ramsay, if you know Chef Ramsay, right? Yeah, Chef Ramsay is one of the toughest chefs in the world, and this one was almost equivalent to Chef Ramsay. And I found it so hard to work with that guy. That was my toughest time in the kitchen. But he gave me another opportunity. Being tough to me made me to learn so many things, because he gave me an assignment to every day take 30 minutes of coming up with new recipe. You see, 30 minutes every day, read, then the next day you have to come with a new item, a new dish. So it took me like 3 months to come up with 30 dishes, different one, and that was a complete set. And that Indian guy changed my life, because every day I would have a new dish apart from what is on the menu. But it was a hard time for me, though I learned from him. But he was saying like, right, come up with the dish, ask what you want. I am giving you a chance to try, and we shall test the dish. If it is okay, we shall incorporate it into our menu. And indeed, their menu sold. After like 3 months, their menu was selling. Because I majorly went into the Middle East dishes. And guess what? After working with that Indian for like 3-4 months, I got loved and I was taken to a Middle East restaurant. That's when I worked in now. From the Middle East restaurant to Skyz. What I love most of the Simba things and what surprised me of the Simba is the culture of the employees. They value and they cherish their employees. They treat their employees as the key factor, right? Not putting an employee at the top of your game. I think they have realized it is what makes you fall. But if you put your employees, or if you consider them as your top priority, yes, you will achieve, because it is your employees that do the job for you. They are the ones that interact with the guests. They are the ones that produce everything. So if you put your employees at the top of it, they definitely give you what you want. And that's one thing that I think I can say Simba Group is doing very well. The first time I came here, it did not take me long. I became the employee of the month. See? So I felt good because I was recognized. I was new and I was recognized. An employee of the month, at least you have something to go with at the end of the day, right? It's not for free. So that alone puts you and say, okay, let me also work harder. Wow, it's so interesting. But to me, at Skyz, when you come to Skyz and ask for Chef David, they know he's a steak master. He is a steak master. At any time, the best steak you ever eat at Skyz, that would be David. How do you want it done? Do you want it medium? Want it rare? Want it well done? Medium to rare? Anyhow, any style. At Skyz, I'm called a steak master. And that is my signature dish, steak. I do it to perfection. Everything is grilled to perfection, to your need, not to my need, because I believe I am not cooking for myself. Once the order is taken, I ask for details about that order. How do you need it done? See, that's what makes me proud. When it comes to steak, I am the steak master. When you look at Uganda, it is the only country that you will find Luombo. When you talk about the Luombo, Ugandan Luombo stands everywhere you go, worldwide. Be it chicken Luombo, be it beef Luombo, or be it goat Luombo. Luombo is naturally a Ugandan dish, and it is prepared with locally sourced ingredients, and it is made in our mother's way, whereby no other country can produce that kind of Luombo. Even if you go to Rwanda, Burundi, Kenya, Tanzania, no. It is purely Ugandan. And the Luombo is made to recognize our culture. Our culture, when you, the in-law, you are going to visit the other side of your wife's parents, you are served that Luombo. Now, we believe that those visitors of ours coming here, they are our in-laws. So we treat them in that manner. By giving them the Luombo, that is the real test of Uganda. Actually, in the kitchen, I love cooking. Personally, I love cooking. And most of my time, I take my time cooking with other junior chefs. Now, when I mean the junior chefs, I'm talking about the chef de parties, cooking the entremet, cooking the starters. That is what I love doing. And I believe by doing so, I feel like, yeah, I am with the team, that I need to be with them, I need to teach them, I need to learn from them, they need to learn from me. And if you are the head chef, you have a different kind of job responsibilities. that limits you. It gives you limited time to spend with the people here, right? But then I love cooking with them. I love being in the station. When it is time for cooking, I am there in the station. When it's time for the salads, I am there with them. When it comes to dessert, we are there playing the game. Kitchen is about game playing. How do you play that game? How do you play the game with your team? It is all about teamwork, coordinating the teamwork. It's not one man's job, no. It's the team. Once you build a team, and the team only believes in you when you are with them, the team will believe with the driver who moves with them, not someone who commands from behind. And that's when you build a very strong team. That is when you find the real test of the food coming. That's when you find the resilience of the ingredients. You see, that consistency comes when you are playing it with them. Working in the kitchen is not easy. The pressure in the kitchen keeps increasing as the demand of food comes in. That means you have guests walking in and they need to eat. I can't fail to remember one day when I had a table of 50, that is on a la carte. They never booked, but they walked in. They had to place their order and they wanted to eat instantly. The tension was too high in the kitchen, but we had to cut it off. How? In the kitchen, how you manage pressure matters most. One, you must have that resilience. You must be able to control yourself, right? Now, like if the pressure is too high, keep calm. Pay attention to details and ensure you have good mise en place. What makes you handle the pressure in the kitchen is having a good mise en place. Mise en place is a preparation before. You know, when you are dealing with a hotel like this of Skyz, where people tend to come in big numbers, have enough mise en place. Once you have enough mise en place, once you have your team that knows what each person is supposed to do, you will never feel that pressure, right? The pressure, automatically you will handle it. But also it comes with speed. You must have speed as a chef. Your team must be able to coordinate. Your team must be able to work together to bring that dish to the table as fast as it is needed. I can't really remember who was that person in particular, but I have cooked for very many VIPs. I remember when they say the VIPs, they don't normally give the identity of the person. But we have cooked for ambassadors of different countries. We have cooked for very many people. We have cooked for the presidents. Normally when I get back home, the best thing I can do for myself is take tea. I love dawa tea so much. I love taking spiced tea. So when I get home, I normally cook it myself. If I'm not to cook it, then I have to tell someone to help me cook it. But at home, we are always prayerful. I do it with my people at home, I do it with my wife, my children. And most of the time when I have something new that I want them to learn, I tell them what to do, and they do it. I believe in nurturing my family first. When my family gets to know what I'm doing, then my home guests will be more happier. Because I feel my home guests that visit me should be happier like those ones that come to Skyz. Why should mine not be happy yet the ones I'm cooking for are happy? Never. It can't happen. It can't be. It can't be. True, it can't be. Cooking is an art. And you're cooking for different people. Now, bear in mind that these people come from various corners, different cultures, different way of cooking, different method of cooking, different tastes, and different ingredients used. In Uganda, maybe the ingredients we have here does not match with what they have from where they came from. For instance, if maybe a West Africaner comes right now, he will ask for his food. Yes, indeed, we have them. but maybe the ingredients we have is not matching with what, how they cook it on the other side. One day I cooked for some Nigerian guy. He wanted a kung papang. So a pang koko is basically a cow's head which is boiled for a long time, spiced, and it is cooked together with yams. Now, this guy never liked it because the yams I used was different from the yams he wanted. For them, they use palm yam, and the palm yam in Uganda is scarce. So he never liked that food, just because I used a different type of yam. But then when I explained to him, I had to order the yam he wanted. When I cooked it the second time, wow, it was great. He enjoyed it. And up to now, when he comes to Skyz, he looks for Chef David. Every time he comes, he looks. That's the real, by the way, that's the truth. He looks for Chef David. Last time I met him in reception, he said he's coming back. And we are in touch. Whenever he comes to the country, Chef David, I'm coming. Could you please order my things? I know I have to get the cow's head. I have to look for his yams, I have to source for his yam leaves and all that. Palm oil, I have to get for him. He's a Nigerian. And that dish from their country, it is one of the dishes which is being eaten by the royals. So if you come from the royal family, you have to eat that, pang koko. Now basically, kitchen needs some vibe. And there's always vibe in the kitchen. But when you talk about maybe playing some music, that one will disrupt people from paying attention, because kitchen is about attention to details. Now, the ingredients you use, and remember some orders, we receive orders from the waitress and the waitress. Now, when you bring in music, music will take away someone's mind and then will lack that focus. Paying attention to the details will lack. So that's why we don't have the music in the kitchen. But we create our own vibe as chefs. Work as play, but don't play with work. That is our slogan. Play as you work, but don't play with work. So that slogan keeps it lively. As we are chatting, keep interacting with one another, playfully, but don't play with the order. Don't play with the food. Paying attention to details is very, very important, because the ingredients, as you put them, food needs time. You must be focused. You must pay attention. Each step in cooking matters. Each time you are spending with the ingredients, how much you're putting, how you're testing the salt, how you're seasoning, matters a lot. So don't have to play with food. However, there's a time we create jokes. I wanted to be a farmer from a time ago, yes. And I never thought of being a chef. But I believe being a farmer is the best thing I can do for life. I am not a kind of a person who is after job, seeking after job now. I am after producing my own. How best can I produce my own things? That means if I am a farmer, and if I'm a focused farmer, that means I am in a better position than seeking for that professionalism. I believe being a professional farmer is an added advantage, because I am the CEO of myself, I am the marketer of myself, I am everything of myself. And when you look at the market today, if you're a farmer, you can add value to your products. And I believe now that I'm a chef, I am the best farmer. And I will be the best farmer. Sure. Even my next move is to become a farmer. I don't opt for another job again. After Skyz, I'll retire to my farm. I will not go anywhere. And I would love to go, but for now, I'm still at Skyz. From Skyz to a farmer. Then I will convert that thing from farm to table. That is my dream. Now that I have known how it is supposed to be, I will tailor make my products I will tailor make them to suit the market that I want. The most important thing in team building is how you communicate to your team. Communication is the key factor in team building. How you communicate them from the time they enter to the time they execute their duties to the time they say we are going back home. Communication in between there is what matters most. Because if you are such a kind of a leader who believes in action than listening, then they will not be taking you as a pro leader. You must listen to them, get to know what they need, and as a leader, give it to them. And then also tell them how you feel about a given situation. By doing so, you will be working together. But then if you don't do that, there will be a mess somewhere. Bet me or not, we are all human beings. Our needs are different. There are certain things we cannot provide, but they demand for them. You have to be open that this within my means, I can provide. What is not within my means, I cannot. But for now, what we need to do is to make sure our guest gets food in time. And that is our primary goal. Our primary goal is to make sure our guests get food in time. And once that is communicated and everything is being given to them, bet me, you will never have any problem. They'll be happy. You see, when you're on the top of the hill, they believe that you give the top notch of your food. So just by protecting your brand, you must dish. Even when you look at how we dish, we normally put our food in a hill manner, meaning we are on top of the game, right? We are on top of the game. We are on the hill, meaning we are on top of the game. Even our plating is plated hill-wise, right? So it influences a lot. It tells. Being on the hill tells who we are. And being on top of the hill means we are on top of the game. And we shall always keep it on top. Being a head chef, it takes one determination. If you are determined, you are focused, you will become a head chef. But you need to do a lot of research. You need to be somebody who loves reading, somebody who loves cooking, somebody who loves who loves new things, right? Someone who is so innovative, because today's kitchen is innovative. But then before, when I joined, there was no AI. Today there is AI. So you must be someone who is so creative. You must be so enthusiastic to work in a changing environment. The world is changing. The kitchen as well is changing. Everything is changing. So for you as a head chef, one, you must stay focused. Have the spirit of love for what you are doing. If you are here for money, then you will never be a head chef. It should be a passion that drives you. It is your passion. If you follow your passion, then you will get there. But you can only get there by learning every step, because cooking has got hierarchies from the commis to executive chef. So for you to become an executive chef, you must have worked in all these hierarchies, from down to top, and in all sections. That means we have the hotline, we have the cold kitchen, we have the pastries. So you must have all this knowledge in you. But how do you acquire that knowledge? Is through reading, through doing the research. Chefs do not sleep. Chefs do research every day. So if you're kind of a sleeping chef, you may not make it. It's only until we wake up and start doing the revision again. Simba is sweet, spice, and tangy. Because there are sweet moments, there are spicy moments, and there are tangy moments. Sweet moments comes in when everyone is happy. Spicy moment comes when things are into there. And then the tangy ones comes when the guests are not showing up. Our purpose is guests. We cook for guests, but if they don't come, because maybe the season, maybe because of political issues, we feel it. We feel like, no, it's not right. Everything is in a mess. See? But if the guests are there, everyone is happy, we are happy, and work is well. I would appreciate the fact that being at Skyz has made me whom I am. And it wasn't my own effort. I was pulled up by so many people. One was Mr. Davis, the manager, GM, our GM, Mr. Davis. He's a kind of a guy, he's a kind of a general manager who says, David, you know what? I know you are capable of doing this, and I'm giving you a chance to try. And I believe in the managers who give access for others to try what they are good at. Had it not to be him, then I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing here, because he has given me a leeway to say, David, I believe in you, I trust you, you will deliver. Even Madame Carol herself, I had time to chat with her, and the kind of confidence he built in me, I can never take it for granted, and I can never let her down. So this has become part of my family. Skyz is my family. I think of this Skyz first, my family second, because I spend a lot of hours at Skyz compared to my home. So I would really say, Mr. David, you have made me whom I am. Through management, you have done it. Madame Carol gave me a permission, a go-ahead to handle her kitchen. Who am I? And why shouldn't I say thank you? And I believe she's also happy on what I'm doing. I have worked with so many chefs, but Chef Manu, the Indian man, has been by my side all the time. David, however much he gives me hard task, but I make sure I do them. And when I accomplish them, wow, I feel like, yes, maybe I've done something good. But I have realized that whenever they assign a task for you, they are not punishing you, but they believe in what you can. So those three people has made me whom I am. And I say thank you and I salute you for the good job that you have done, for mentoring me. Because today I believe I am a different person from 5 years ago. My journey has been long, though I have spoken about it today. I hope you will hear it and take it from my side.